Hi, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Dave, and we're the IB English guys. We've gotten a lot of questions from people about what is inside our teacher resources. And we wanted to give you a sneak peek of what's inside our non-literary teaching units. We have teaching units for political cartoons, for advertisements and PSAs, for TED Talks, and also for photography. We're proud of these and we think they'd be really useful.
That's right. You can find all these resources on our website, ibenglishguys.com. Click on the tab for teacher resources, and there you will find them. Tutors, students, teachers. I think you're going to like what's inside. Now, when you look inside, Mr. Giles, what's the first thing that you'll find?
The first thing you're going to find is our introduction, where Andrew and I have just talked a little bit about our work with this particular text type, this particular non-literary text. And just an introduction to the entire unit of what you're going to see.
That's right. And then, of course, you'll find a table of contents. All of these are linked. You can quickly go to the lesson, the unit, the aspect of the unit you want to focus on, and you'll jump right there through the bookmarks.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Then the next page is a unit overview. We think this is a really useful part of the unit. You'll see each lesson is clearly named. We also have a very rudimentary idea of the agenda of what we'll be doing, but we've also made a short 3 to 5 minute video, a Loom video for each accompanying lesson.
That's right. And in that video, we'll give you sort of the nitty gritty, the nuts and bolts. Think of it as like the teacher book, Mr. Giles, where we tell you how to execute that lesson and get the most bang for your buck in your time with your students.
Yeah, this guy's putting me to work. Then you'll see that each lesson is very, very clearly delineated. It's named, and we also have learning objectives for each day. We also have an agenda for each day. And then when we drill down further, we'll have a warm-up activity. We really like the Project Zero from Harvard, the visible thinking routines, something to engage students and get them warmed up. And then each part of the lesson is very clearly designed so that it's got clear directions and student models and links.
That's right. Now, we realize that not everybody wants to use a doc to teach off, so we, of course, have given you the complete slide deck. So that's 10 lessons as a running doc or as a Google slide deck to meet your needs as a teacher.
Yeah, slides or docs, they're both there. You'll also see that we have terminology. We think for each non-literary text that a student is going to work with, you need to know the term. So we'll have a glossary of terminology that students can access.
Yeah, and once, of course, they've mastered these terms, students, they'll be graphic organizers. We always give blank organizers for students to work with when they're practicing. And in case they need some help, we always offer the completed organizer that we've done ourselves. And oftentimes that will also include a piece of writing. And of course, that writing, we really believe in lighting it up because we like to show students the different aspects of the different scoring criteria and the things they need to think about while they complete their work.
Yeah, I think having a complete student model is really helpful. You'll also see that when students are looking through an entire body of work, we want them to be experts on that body of work. So we have other graphic organizers for them to work with a non-literary body of work. You'll see here a sample where an example where the student has gone through a photographer from during the Vietnam War, and again looking at the different aspects and being an expert on that photographer.
Anytime we think, of course, you'll want to have formative and summative assessments throughout the unit, and we have some samples here as well. This one's a piece of writing, it looks like from photography, Mr. Giles, and this is actually a really helpful piece because it also guides students on how to format and how to write their HLE if they were going to use such a text type.
Ooh, so this has got some connections to lots of different assessments or different parts of the course. Now, one thing we strove to do is not just teach one photographer or one cartoonist. We highlight one cartoonist or one photographer, and then we offer students choice. We have a choice board. Andrew and I have curated somewhere between 8 and 12 bodies of work for each one of these non-literary text types. And of course,
each body of work has 10 to 15 samples. They are complete bodies of work. They're very comprehensive.
Yeah, and we feel like this gives students choice, but it's not choice of everything. We've narrowed it down and we've vetted a lot of the work. And we think we also have global coverage. And so that, I think, offers students a chance to explore in partners or groups.
Yeah, and to guide them and help them make a great choice, we ask them to quickly do a little overview of all the different options available. And you can see we offer organizers for that. And this helps students make a choice about the photographer or the cartoonist or the advertising campaign that they ultimately want to work with.
That's right. We had great success with that. We also, again, are leading students towards working on their individual oral skills. Now, you'll notice that we have lots of student samples incorporated into the units. So the students are thinking about how to discuss that particular text type, and then they have a sample.
Yeah, if they're not writing, if they are practicing their speaking, regardless of the assessment, we'll offer lots of sentence stems. And you can see these are here for the IO. This is really important scaffolding for students because it helps them take really complex academic ideas and hang them on a framework so they can be really clear and academic with their expression.
That's right. And then we're thinking about a summative assessment that's part of this unit and part of the non-literary unit. We'll offer the actual assessment text, but then we also have student exemplar, a student response for that particular assessment, and we have teacher examiner comments. Both Andrew and I are examiners, so we've gone through and we've scored those samples and given our comments.
Of course, all of our units end with an appendix where you can get a quick look at all the different graphic organizers, all the samples, all the scored work that's in there. We think this is a really handy way for students, teachers, and tutors to really see all we have to offer. Folks, in closing, regardless of if you're working independently at home, if you're working one-on-one in a tutoring center, or if you're a classroom teacher, we really feel that these non-literary units are incredibly helpful. They're skill-based, and they lead students to success in all the various components.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your feedback and the successes that you're having with the resources. We want to continue to do this, and we feel like it's going to be helpful for lots of teachers and students. So give us some feedback and let us know.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the channel next time.
Thanks, guys.